pretty solid, it looks like. Let me come over here. Because I got to look for some chats. If anything comes in, come over here, hit you, mute. Come over here, hit you, mute. Okay, it sounds like that needs to come up a little louder in volume. Main. Go ahead and bring you up here. I'm thinking that'll be good. I'm thinking that'll be good. Yeah, that's pretty solid. All right, how's everybody doing? Been a few weeks, almost a month again. Been busy, taking care of stuff. It's a beautiful day outside, but it is 90 degrees, and I'm not that eager to get out and do much that I gotta do at 90. I gotta go out and freshen water up in a little bit, but until that happens, we're gonna put together some wheels. Gotta get my birds some fresh water. So let me see, let's start. So as you can see, we got some Proline kind of shiny. Let me see if I pop this on off to make it any better. Take a peek here. I'll wait for it to come through. Not really. Not really any different. It's the one above, but that's all right. So we're going to be opening up and putting together these Proline Riot. I think they're Riots. What they call them? Raids. Raid. BeadLock wheels. Fairly interesting. I thought these were supposed to come with 12mm inserts. All right. I wonder why. If you don't, I might have to wait and order the right insert pieces. I swore that they said that they came with the 12mm. Those clearly are not 12mm 17s. Alright, that's something I can wait for, so those go over there with that. I'm going to need a few more screws. Let's see, I think I might have some in here I could use. I don't know. Those are all flatheads except for those. I'm kind of out of them there. Take a peek here real quick. Those are 16s. I do have stainless. I could just put stainless in there. I got plenty of those. Let me see. Let me take a peek. Come on now. Guess I can see what I get out of that. Could always do both, a little stainless and a little black oxide, and just bounce them around. Or stainless on one side and black oxide on the other at any point. this up. Let me get that out of here. That's how I had that over there, okay? This I don't need. Bring you back over here. Oop. So I had them kind of separated. Now, in talking to a few guys that are racing locally, one of them was saying that folks have been using the Crawler Innovation drag foams on the dirt oval tires to give them a little bit more flat profile width. Get a little better traction, so we're going to give it a try. They had them on special, probably close out. Crawler Innovation. Well, let's see. See how these foams stack up. Well, about the same width. Crawler Innovation just slightly wider. We go to this camera first. I'm gonna go do a different scene here. Get a little better look. Come on now. Do your thing. What did I do? Hit the wrong one? I did. Turn you off, turn you on. Got the wrong one button. Oh. Let me see. See. Nope. I still gotta give me a second. You. All right, that should take care of that. Alrighty. So that's in a bad position. Just cockeyed as hell, but straighten her out a smidge. So as you can see, about the same width. Pretty close to the same thickness. Of course, these are more formed, which is probably going to help. Switch these puppies in here. Slipped them in there pretty decently. Got just a little gap out there. A little softness, allow it to flatten out on the track. Wonder if I... Yeah, it seems like we could use a little thing there. I guess hopefully it does widen it up just a smidge. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop this foam in this one. Perhaps I can build the other set with the stock foam. Mark them so I know which is which. Which is stock and which is Crawler Innovation. And then try them both on the back and see how they work. Or the front. won't work. We'll see. Okay. I think I gotta take these down and around, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I built the set. This has gotta go on this side. Okay. Still getting over a little bit of upper respiratory. Fighting some crap for a bit. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while since I've built some, so I remember exactly what I gotta do. That's getting caught up in there. Got a big lip to get over there. Back over a little bit. just a smidge. Make sure they're in there. Okay. Let's go ahead and just mix them out. Do half and half. So I got good black screws for. These good new black screws. There for a few minutes. Right one should be. Probably trim that down. Get a little at the end. All right. Okay, let's see here for a second. Double check the speed. Put it in here. Yeah, no, I just set that one up, but the way I gotta do this, I think this is a smarter way of dealing with it. In there. that's a sucky ass situation. Put these holes too far in for this. Well, shivets. They're not lined up. Way off. Pain in the ass. Make this shit fit Proline BeadLock Rings. They won't fit Proline BeadLock Rings. Because Proline changed things. There's a little bit between those, these, and the old tires. Well, that's a pain in the ass. Can't do that. So I guess I'm not using the bead mags because they don't work. So FYI, don't try to put the bead mags on the Raid rims because they will not fit. The whole pattern's too small. I didn't want to use the red ones, but I guess it is what it is. I want to use 12 bolt because they're going to hold a lot better. Okay. Man, those do really fill it up nice though. Oh, wow, I like that. It's got a lot of kind of whack on some of the wheel here. I have to push that in. Work that foam on the inside all the way. Let's see. This ain't too bad. Kinda getting tread a little funny here. Maybe we can kind of see it. It was kind of sticking out a little bit. It's pretty good there. It's still a little higher on the inside. Still a little higher on the inside. Alright, let's see here. Snap the place all around. That's better. There we go. That's the right way. Check that other one. Flammy goodness. Yeah, that was a wrong one. That's why. That's why you messed up. Put the bead on the wrong side. It's been a few minutes. Let's assemble a set of these. Hey Jan, how you doing? Is it echoing still, or I've just seen you pop up? I don't know if you've been there for a few minutes. Hang on, let me double check this. Still, or I've just seen you pop up. I don't know if you've been there for a few minutes. Hang on, let me double check this. Still, or I've just seen you pop up. I don't know if you've been there for a few minutes. Hang on, I'm not hearing. Oh, that's right. I got this turned down. Hello. I'm not hearing. Oh boy. I got this turned down. So yeah, I got a feed issue here. I'm not hearing. Oh boy. Let me take a peek. So yeah, I got a feed issue here. I'm not hearing. Oh boy. Let me take a peek. Feed issue. Let's see what that does. Strange. Okay, that sounds better. Yeah, it's weird. No, I had it set up for output speakers on my TV, but my TV was muted, so it shouldn't have been, picking up to the mic, but obviously it was refeeding through. Well, I appreciate that's gone. Thanks, guys. How's everybody? How you guys doing today? Get back into this. Starting to feel better. It's cold, man. Whatever the heck it is. Got me a little crappy in the nose area. And it sucks. Sucks that those Team Brood wheels or rings don't work. Almost too much. Almost burn it out. Something you don't want to go fast. Get them tight and let them just snug up. Or else you strip them. But yeah, I thought these things are supposed to have 12 millimeter hexes with them. That's what it said. But I'm looking at a pair of 17 millimeter hexes. Kind of strange. Different offsets, but still 17 millimeter. Either get adapters or something else. Boy, those do. I don't know. Those being flat like that, they kind of ride up on that one side and kind of throw the tire slightly out of kilter. Yeah, it's sunny and bright here, 92, a little humid. It's probably about 80-85% humidity out there, so it's pretty sticky. Yeah, see, they want to kind of push over. Don't want to be flat. That's because of it. I might have to take them apart and maybe I got them on backwards because there is a recess there. It's possible I put them on backwards. I guess I'll have to double check. Kind of sucks taking one apart. I just had it apart. If I put them on backwards, that would explain it. Why it's not sitting well on the one side. Because I got the wrong one on the one side. Guess I didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, sunny here, but too hot to go out and do much. I'm gonna relax on this one. I gotta get out tomorrow and do some stuff. I'll get out right away in the morning. I had to do some running this morning. And by the time I got back, it was already getting kind of warm. Yeah, that's what I did. So let's flip this around. Make sure you're putting them together the right way. Derpity derpity derp. Your little cut backside goes on the back of the wheel, not the front, the 3.0 side. And I had them backwards, and I'm willing to bet that one's the same way because it's set in the same way. I didn't even notice that. See, I'm making all these mistakes so you don't have to. If you're doing dirt oval tires and you want to throw together a set of wheels on these, any kind of Proline rim, but especially for these 2.030 or 2.230 tires. He's whipped around. So how you doing, Radioactive? Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it, guys. That's a little better. Imagine that. Imagine when you actually put them together the right way, they actually set better. Position. Yeah, I need to reorganize myself. It's one of the things I'll probably start doing as soon as the snow hits. Is going to be doing some work on the inside of the house this year, and I guess one of my deals is going to be to kind of organize a little bit and put things. Gonna move rooms, give me a little bit more room. It's a smaller room, but I'm gonna have less stuff in it as far as that goes. It'd be more open and pretty much RC related, so that'll be a little better. Okay, take this one apart, flip this one around, 'cause I'm sure it's backwards. Yeah, I know that one some days. You stop buying and get rid of what you got already. Sometimes it's hard to stop buying. The deals are pretty damn good once in a while. These ones I do have in right. I just didn't have them quite seated properly. I'll go ahead and get a little bit of adjustment there. So they did seat and sit a little better. Those ones sit a lot better now. Close that. Don't need that in my way. Pull this tire over the edge of the bead lock here. Work that bead in this side right now. Okay. Yeah, this and the modified for the late model. I'm going to get a different body. I did end up buying the wrong body, so I'm most likely just going to buy the Traxxas body, as pricey as it is with all the pieces to fit it. This is more of a on-road oval body that I bought. But yeah, I'm going to use these on both. Basically, because I got Traxxas wheels or tires. They're not necessarily wheels, but I got Traxxas tires to use. But I only got the same, Traxxas tires on both rigs. This will turn around and give me an option, hopefully, for some different tread for different track setup. Most of the tracks I'm on are dirt, so it's gonna vary by race and lap and how dry it is. But should I get down to oval track on a nice hard pack clay, then this is where that tire option could come into a good play. When you're on the dirt, it gets loose. Even if you pack it, it's still going to end up getting loose, and you're running on dirt, and she's going to get a little squirrely. That's just dirt. That's how it is. Okay. But on hard clay, that doesn't change much. A little different tread may be what you need to not get too squirrely on those hard pack. Yeah, pretty much the conversion's basically done. Like I say, I'm gonna put a different body. The inside's all plastic. The only thing that's aluminum is the red ring here. I was going to put the magnesiums on here, but the slots are in the wrong spot, and I don't really want to, tear them out and slot them. I'll just resell them to somebody with the other BeadLock rings, or I'll, look around and find the other BeadLock wheels. The older version of the BeadLock drag wheels that they have, and see if I can find those, and those will fit on that because the wheels are in a slightly different location. Okay, I should say the bolt pattern's in a slightly different location, and then you can use 12 bolts instead of 6 and get obviously a lot better bite. A lot better holding that bead in place all the way. Okay, that's better. Yeah, tread pattern looks a lot better there. You can see it's a lot more even around the surface of the tire, flatter. This one looks like it's got a little more crown on it. I'll work it a smidge. But yeah, that'll work out. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just put these others together the same way. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I got to get different hubs, because I swore this said 12mm hubs. They are for the slash. At least supposed to be, anyways. Single. Here, I've got hundreds of them. All right. Go ahead and put those that way. Thank you. I mean, I built the thing for the drag, like as said in the earlier videos. So it's, set up for drag racing on the high end. I mean, it's got all the goodies to be smooth, fast, quick, low resistance, and never got to drag. So it ought to be a wild kind of rig for this. Make sure my slot's in the back. been thinking about maybe building a monster truck. Never really got into it. I've had a T-Max and an E-Max, but I wasn't a monster truck guy. I was more of a basher kind of guy. But those are old, and they're not really monster trucks either, you know, not with the A-arm setup. Monster truck needs solid axles. Those are glorified bashers, essentially. Decent platform for back in the day, but so yeah, with all the other stuff, I've been thinking about, you know, possibly I got enough stuff basically to throw together a monster truck build, but I'll have to design some drop plates for the side, you know, side plates to get everything raised up. So I got to figure that out, kind of look and see what's out there maybe. Yeah, see, I've never really been a new Mustang fan. I like the looks of the old, you know, original early 70s, late 60s Mustangs. Never fond of anything past like 74, 75. They started getting kind of ugly, then they kind of went away, didn't do much, and then they come back with that Capri looking thing. Okay, they kind of redeemed themselves with the 5.0, but it was still a Capri-looking thing. So, yeah, I lost a lot of my Mustang love after 1975 when I was still a young rat. Come on, get in there. Come on, baby. Let me think. I think that was a Proline body. It might have been a Sharks. Don't quite remember who did the Chevelle. You got the Nova 2. body. I mean, they did a lot of Proline, jumped out and pumped out quite a few bodies. Parma, got the old Parma line of bodies. They did a few. Sharks RC Racing did a few. There's Bitty Designs that did some, and quite a few people did some stuff there. I can't remember who did the Chevelle, though, if that was... Yeah, I can pull something down, either a drag or something else. Got some crawlers that I built. You know, there's kits, obviously, and then there's stuff I've pieced things together to make work. I haven't really fabbed anything. You know, a few minor things here and there. Most fabrication is just, you know, simple stuff. I ain't got the tools or the room or the big extra money for the nice fab tools. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, the old 69, 70, Chevelle 71, they did have a really nice body style to them. They shifted a little bit, and I think 72. Then, of course, 68. I think 67 was the more square-bodied, square-nose unit. I think it was 68 might have been the first where it had a little bit more of the curvy beauty lines. Okay, you in there, put you in here. Pretty easy to build, but they can be a little tricky just in getting everything lined up and getting your beads set properly. But once you've done that, these Proline rims are pretty decent. I've got a few versions of them, you know, for the drag race stuff that have never drag raced, so. Pardon me. Still got to get rid of that dang phlegm. Ever since Corona come through, I've been constantly phlegmy, and it really sucks. Yeah, the 2.0, these are just regular slash-based rims where they have the 2.2, 3.0 rear side of the tire. There's a few versions that at least from Proline. There's a couple other companies that there's some aluminum ones that are for the drag racing. They're lightweight and, you know, milled out, so they're pretty lightweight. SSD's got a few versions. I'm sure there's a dozen different styles on Amazon that are in a full aluminum setup. Not exactly cheap at, you know, 65 to 85 bucks a shot for the aluminum rings from SSD, but like I say, I'm sure Amazon cheapies are around for 35, 50 bucks a set or cheaper. But yeah, like I say, these are what's called the Proline Raid BeadLock Rings. I don't quite remember what the other ones are called. I'm not sure if they're even making them anymore. I'd just seen these when I looked at beadlocks. Because I didn't do a full search, it was more of a cursory search. Just through A-Main, basically. That's where I normally shop, for the most part. Local places when I get out of the area. And get into an area that actually has some hobby shops in it. I got a couple fairly close, but one of them simply tracks this with some upgrades. The other one has quite a bit. It's a little farther away, but I haven't gotten there yet to really check things out. Okay, that should do pretty good. One off from here. Make sure everything's good and tight. It still felt a little loose. All right, not All right, I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna go put these in here. I got them, but might not have to use them. Over there for now. All in here in this bag because those ones are already contained. Because I got to, like I say, come up with some hubs here. Double check it, or I got to get adapters. Go from a 12 millimeter to a 17 millimeter just to run these damn things. That'd be kind of a pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to take a peek and see exactly what I read. Get that straightened out. But as far as the tires go, yeah, those are better. They still got a little eat to them, but once they run in and soften up just a smidge, you'll flatten out a bit more. Okay. Just got to kind of adjust the foam a smidge, pull it off the edge so it ain't quite so pushed up. Now the reason for the offset difference is on the Slash you've got different offsets on the front and rear tires for the hubs. They offset you a little bit. Some of it, yeah, some of the, especially you get the Chinese knockoff stuff, you know, it's kind of hit or miss, almost irrelevant of the company. There's some companies that do put out some decent quality. Proline probably more true to what they say it is compared to other companies who are just, totally lying about what the items are made out of, the quality of aluminum it is. And they're saying it's this, and it's clearly not that type of aluminum because it strips far too easy. So there's a few companies out there you really got to watch what you're buying. But like I said, there are some that are really good. I mean, they take pride and do great work and make sure that their stuff is of adequate quality and holds up pretty decently. And then there's a lot of them that are just fly-by-nighters popping up, selling whatever they can for as much as they can make, and it's just the lowest quality, end of the road crap for the most part you can imagine. I'm gonna take a quick break and have a bit of a cigarette. Some people frown on it, but I'm sorry, it's my lungs, not yours. I'm trying to quit, or at least slow down. Alright, so that's a set of wheels. Now see, these are the other wheels that I got. Now these ones actually have carbon fiber and they're slicks, obviously. I got some on the other rigs, but they're up on the wall. And these are more like I said, that star, as you can see, bead. Now the Team Brood bead locks is slap right on these rims. So I may just pop these apart, throw these together, because I'm not drag racing, obviously. So maybe I'll steal these rims, and I got 2 other sets, but maybe I can find one more set somewhere and then put different tires on that. Alright, so yeah, that takes care of a basic tire assembly. It's not hard, little fiddly. Gotta make sure you put your foams in right if they're 2230 tires, because they do kind of have a certain position to go together. Now these Prolines are non-directional, so they just go on. You don't have to watch which tire you're putting where. You just stick them on and then throw them on the rig. As long as you're in the correct offset, you're good to go. Damn little flies. So yeah, that's pretty easy stuff to do. Not too hard. Let's see, that's this side, so let me push you in, try to square up. There we go. That's pretty square. It's more of this camera than anything. That's the top down. So I can come back over to this camera. And then I got you. Flip them around. It's gonna go dark, and then it's gonna come back. Oh, you darn thing! This camera sometimes pain in the arse why it does that. Comes on, and just suddenly goes blurry, like the autofocus gets all screwed up. All right, and it's gonna do it again. So let me bring this up. Still not unblurry. Come on now. Oh, damn thing. See, no, just before I reach up there to stick my head in it. Yeah. What in the heck? Some reason it's stuck on focus. There, that's a little better. It's like it doesn't, if you ain't got a human part in this camera, it doesn't like to track it. It'll sit there and kind of try to refocus and bounce in and out. It's a pain in the ass. BeadLock's more for just holding that wheel tight. When you're doing oval, you're getting a lot of stress on that outside of the outer wheel, so and the inside of the inside wheel. So the bead locks really help hold it. Gluing can be a real pain. If I can use a bead lock, I'd prefer that. Plus, getting the tire off's a lot easier when you want to flip things around. I got a few when it comes to crawlers. Let me see. I'll pull this one down because it's very close and easily accessible. And this is a mismatch build. This is a build I put together out of various parts I've got or I picked up over the years. So what we're looking at is a Vanquish VS410 chassis with SSD diamond axles, a cheap Chinese knockoff 3-gear tranny with a cheap Chinese dig system and a cheap Chinese counter-rotating shaft, so my drive shafts turn the opposite directions. Otherwise, it wouldn't work because the wheels would be turning into each other or trying to pull each other apart. So I had to do a little planning when I made this. Try to get things set up right. Surpass Hobby ESC. Got some serious servos in there. A AM32. I can't. Oh, it's the Rhino. ESC AM32 Rhino. ESC. This has the Reese 1100 steering servo and an IS 800 winch servo. Running it on 3S. I don't have that. Yeah, unplugged. Make sure it's unplugged. Still got the battery in there, but yeah, she's unplugged. Bed I made. I just took some 3/4 inch wood or 5/8 inch, maple that was around, thin stuff. Cut her a little bit around 1/8 of an inch. Glued it to a piece of plastic. Put it all together like it's a wood bed. Stained it. Using 4 bolts to hold it down. Let's see if I can remember how I got this thing. I got to fix the front bumper. It come undone. Oh yeah, a couple. So this is mounted with 2 screws. 1 screw here and then 1 on this side. You take those 2 screws off. The top lifts right off everything. But it's nice and secure. It ain't going anywhere even when it rolls over. So 2 bolts I actually hold this whole body on quite well. Had to do a little trimming around the sliders to get things to kind of fit properly. SSD links. So these are the SSD titanium link set on here, including the steering links. With the axles, I got the aluminum housings, just the portal. I believe I've got no overdrive in this. I might have put some overdrive in it. Knockoff 45 kg, cheap little 9 iMod. One I bought cheap, a couple of them on special for cheapy to give them a try. Way overpowered I'm just using it for dig shift. I could put a little small raw 100 in there or a raw 59 and be more than enough. But I decided, okay, I had that one. It was cheap. Like I said, I got 2 of them for like $45, so it'll work in there. So I got to get, cheap knockoff Amazon bumper, which didn't get welded very well. So I got to weld that back together. Proline Suicide wagon body, power wagon body. Knockoff rims from Amazon, and then J Concepts. What are these? These are ruptures. Yeah, J Concept rupture tires. You see the rims are pretty much like a tank, Vanquish 1.9 tank. But yeah, this I ran it a little bit. SSD shocks on it. SSD shock towers. They fit the Vanquish. I had to do just a little wiggle and everything went right in. So yeah, it's pretty much a bastard build, a monster build. Yeah, there's some pretty nice stuff. I put some pretty decent things in there. Like I said, I'm not real big on buying the knockoff stuff, but to get things to work the way I had to kind of look around and see what I could do for trannies to make this all work. And that's kind of what I come up with. It wasn't a bad. I ended up buying actually 2 trannies and then putting them together into one. One tranny had the dig, one tranny had the counter-rotating shaft. Essentially the same tranny, but 2 different sellers with their own versions of mods on it. So that's what I ended up going with. So a tranny ended up being like $65, but I've got a whole nother tranny, just a 3-gear tranny that's in the boxes somewhere that I could throw on something. I think I still got it anyways. Might be able to find it and sell it or use it, whatever. But yeah, this ain't a bad build. Like I said, I got to do a little bit of work. Still got to do the body. Got a bunch of rust. This is my concept on this one, was to make it look like it was an Arizona truck. So it's basically going to be, the entire thing's going to be rust. A little streaking, a little bit of, okay. If you think of the Sanford and Sons truck, I was all rusted but solid. That's kind of the look I was going for. Oh, that's going to break. That's going to break on me soon. Let me see. Let me do it this way then. I got to fix that front bumper because it's going to snap off on me. So yeah, that's been a nice little rig. I only ran it once or twice. It's not quite complete. But yeah, it got pretty quality stuff. Like I said, cheapy knockoff tranny and the thing. Basically Vanquish 3-gear or Axial 3-gear knockoff trannies. Yeah, the paint, like I said, is going to be all rust with a creamy white, kind of looking like it was supposed to be a white truck, but it's all rusted out. Going to flat, mat it all out on the outside so it's not shiny, so it's all matted. Probably, pop some rust, the actual holes into it and make it look rusty, and, spray some mat on the inside and sprinkle the rust dust everywhere after the window mats are on. So it's got a real heavy, rust look, and then back it with some off-white, maybe antique white paint, just a little bit, maybe some yellow in there. So it looks really sun-faded and bleached out by the sun a little bit. Let's kind of go for that look. It's an old truck by it, somebody stuck on a newer truck frame, if you will. So that's that rig. Go to a different setup here instead of crawler. This is one of my other recent builds. Oh boy, here we go again with this damn thing. On. Oh, you son of a dog. On and off. Alright, that's better. There it goes. Off and then on. And then it's off again. God bless it. This thing's really getting to be a pain in my arse. Let's try this. No, right back out. Bear with me a minute. You can close your ass open. Oh, there it is. Wow. So, goodness, excuse me. Yeah, it just gets to be a pain in the ass dealing with this camera bumping out. Here, let me go back to the other overhead. It doesn't do that as much. So this is the Red Cat RDS build. It's a drifter, obviously. Come on now. Strong ass magnets. Pretty straightforward RDS. I did put the Red Cat upgrade front end arms on it. The upgraded rear tranny, open tranny case. A few things. It's got a McLaren ESC. Actually, this has the actual Master Drift ESC. And then I have a McLaren MV2 10.5 turn. Race 299 for steering, and other than that, it's pretty stock. I do have different shocks to put on here if I don't like these. They don't do well. Some aftermarket cheap Amazon magnets kind of hold everything in place. And this I have what is it? The Reese RC. I put a Reese ES, or not ESC, but the Reese, yeah, gyro. There we go. We got Reese gyro in here. So it's pretty, like I say, pretty standard Red Cat RDS drift build with the Red Cat aftermarket parts. Looks like that diff is leaking on me. I haven't even ran this hardly at all, as you can tell by the tires. Been too busy this summer to get out. I usually run in our parking lot. And then for the body, I put a Protoform Fighter-Bird, 73 Fighter-Bird body. I've got the front nose clip over here, but I'm going to leave, my intention is to leave the nose clip off. I'll show you why. And then 3D print the support and radiator stuff, put the whole radiator support here, so run it without the front grill, or I can put the front nose on and it can get quote unquote knocked off and then expose the radiator and the core. Look a little bit more scale up there than just empty, like it is obviously, but scale it out with a whole core support and stick a radiator in there. So like I say, I can run some small, real weak magnets on the nose piece, and then turn around, slip it on, and have it held on, and then turn around and have it knocked off if drifting. So yeah, it's been a fun build. Is it in the right spot? Yeah, it looks like it's in the right spot. Although probably have to trim that back a little bit on that side, not much, but just a little bit more. Just to even it off a smidge. But yeah, this is a fun little build. The little bit I have driven it here inside the house on my hardwood, cheap knockoff hardwood floors, they handle it pretty decently. But yeah, I got to get it out and really kind of run it through. So yeah, I've got the drift, I've got crawlers, the Pro Moto bikes, got a couple of those. But yeah, lately I've been, a couple of local guys, a good group of 8-10 of us, been doing some oval running. I figured, okay, I'll get an oval rig and start oval. It's pretty fun. I haven't ever really raced, more of a basher. But it was a riot. So I figured, okay, I'll, went over and ran the 4x4 slash, and we were doing some ovals with those at the beginning here a couple months back. And a couple weeks later, a couple of the guys had the modified, the Mud Bosses. The actual Mud Boss, not just the Traxxas modified Mud Boss, but the actual modified, or the Mud Boss build. A couple weeks later, people had the modifieds and Mud Bosses, so I went out and bought, the modified, and then started converting over the one drag slash to get it done. I got a 3D printer, an Ender 3. I've not had the greatest of luck, and I'm not CAD ability So I could learn CAD, but it's pretty deep, would take a long time. And I'm so damn busy, I just don't have a lot of extra time to learn how to CAD and get designs done so I can 3D print. So I do have a printer. Basically, it's buy files or download files, do a little tweaking, and put that into place. And that's what I plan on doing with the radiator core support. Although I might just fab something up out of some styrene. That'd be really easy to build up a core support and would look pretty scale if I use styrene out of it. Or just any kind of thicker plastic that I could turn around and, core support was just real thin tin, pressed out, welded together in a couple spots, and your radiator's mounted to it. So it'd be an easy one to do. If I could design in 3D, it wouldn't be too bad, but again, it just takes so long for me to figure the program out. It's easier just to almost fab it by hand. So I figured I'd do that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and shut off at the moment. I'm getting pretty hungry. It's about 2:30 here, so I need to go get some food in my gut. And I'll probably fire back up a couple hours and do something this evening. I know JB said he's going to be popping on here and there again. He's probably been, like me, busy as hell, taking care of things and living life and getting stuff done. So he said he's going to be on, but... Pretty much, yeah, especially with 3D printing, I've seen some guys doing some really scale stuff in the drift world with 3D prints, interiors and everything. There was one guy did an entire drift car, 3D printed the whole thing, so it was almost like a scale version of a real car where he had under supports and then 3D printed all the body panels so you can knock them off. It'd be kind of cool if you did them out of a real thin tin, so you made body panels. You could actually dent them. That pop can body panels or beer can body panels, so you can actually hit it and put a dent in it. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, the sky's the limit, though. Yeah, you're right. You can damn near today do anything with 3D printing and all the CAD ability and just the small tools. Now you've got desktop CNC machines people can do. So yeah, you can do some really neat stuff. I just never really got into any of that stuff. Got into other parts of the world and 3D printing. I'm a little latecomer too. And yeah, I never did learn CAD, even though I was in drafting in high school. Back when I was in high school, we still didn't have CAD. We didn't have computer assisted drafting in school. Everything was done with slide rule and a drafting board and pencils and all your other drafting stuff. So yeah, I mean, that was 40 years ago now. Yeah, 42 years ago, because I'm 59 now. So yeah, 42 years ago, that stuff. They didn't have computer assisted drafting in high schools 42 years ago. I had it in college, but I didn't go there. But yeah, I'm going to shut down. I got to get some food. Fill my gullet because I'm getting kind of hungry. Probably should get outside and refresh all the waters for the birds because I'm sure they could use it. It's 93 plus degrees out. Pretty warm for them, so I should go get them some good fresh cold water and they'll enjoy that. Refuel a couple pools. Ducks will enjoy that. So thanks for hanging out, you guys. J-Man and who was else? Radioactive. Appreciate you guys coming in and checking out. Anybody else that's been watching, there's been a few people in and out. And yeah, I'll probably pop back on a lot more. Yeah, it's just something you got to stick with. You got to continue to do it. And that's the time part I don't have. Maybe winter, I'll have a little bit more time, but I'm planning to do a lot of remodeling in my house this winter, so I probably won't have much time to learn it. I just need to find somebody who's good with CAD, and then I can turn around and 3D print it here. Ender 3 does a pretty good job. It's slow. And if I could get better at it, maybe I'll upgrade 3D printers if I do more, but probably not at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to run. You guys all have a good day. Like I say, I'll most likely be on later on this afternoon or early this evening and do some more stuff, but we'll see. So everybody, have a good day. Hit that like, slam that subscribe button, hit the bell and choose the all, because otherwise you don't get any notifications from anybody. If you just hit the bell, they're all personalized. And if they're not sending you a personal invitation, you're not getting it. So make sure you hit the all, and anybody you subscribe to, hit that bell and choose all.